Hey everyone, and welcome back to another ServiceNow Deskside Chats. Coming back to the show, I have Chuck Tomasi. Welcome, Chuck.
Thanks.
And we're going to be talking to you about the ServiceNow developer community. So talk to me, Chuck. What is the ServiceNow developer community, or better said, the ServiceNow developer program? Who's it for, and how can I get part of it?
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to start out with the URL, developer.servicenow.com. I got to remember to say that at least 100 times in this video. It's a place where you can go to get enablement, growth, opportunities, and community. As far as enablement, you'll find a free personal developer instance. You can get a live running copy of ServiceNow, activate many of the plugins that would normally cost a customer extra, test them out, use them all for free, build applications. There's documentation about all the scripting APIs, whether it's client-side or REST or server-side. This is all about developers. It's free learning plans. I mean, it's amazing how much stuff is out there for no cost. Whether or not you're just starting out on ServiceNow, whether you're an admin that wants to be a developer, where you've got developer experience from other platforms, great place to go to learn that.
That's awesome. And I know a lot of people in the community, they wonder what's going on. Sometimes my instance, it goes to sleep or it's not responding or something like that. Any comments on the life of these developer instances? Do they get reset after a certain period of time? How long do they actually last for a developer?
So they are provided free of charge, and of course we incur a cost hosting these in data centers. So there's a trade-off with that. We can't give them to people indefinitely. We put them to sleep after a certain number of hours. If nobody's logged in and done something on that instance, it just says, all right, I'm just going to take a pass and go to sleep. If you don't log in for, I think it's 10 days, and we send out notification, an email notification to whoever registered that instance. We'll say, you've got a couple of days left, we're going to reclaim it and make it available to somebody else. All of this is explained when you register, when you sign up, what you're in for, what the rules of the game are.
And I think another question that comes up with these instances is in terms of the instance version. Anytime we get into this time frame of early access, when we do our new release webinars showing off these cool new features, a lot of developers, they want to get their hands right in there, right? So when do these developer instances actually get the ability to move on to the latest family release of ServiceNow?
That happens with something we call early access. We've got early availability and general availability. Early availability is when we make our latest release available to partners and developers. And you will get this within days of the early availability announcement. For London, developers had access to London in the end of July of 2018. Whereas the general availability wasn't available until early September. So it was like 6 weeks where people had the ability to tinker, explore, test, perhaps test their applications to see how they upgrade, how they work on a completely separate instance from their normal development stack of dev, test, prod, stage, whatever they make up for that, and have the confidence and understand the level of effort that it would take to upgrade this work to London without even having to impact their organization. So very, very useful.
So you mentioned that this developer.servicenow.com, it has tutorials, guides, getting ready on the ServiceNow platform as a developer, creating a custom application, getting familiar with all these different components that you need to familiarize yourself with as a developer. So that's really neat.
Yeah, there's so much great content. And my favorite part, if you really mess things up badly, you can always wipe it and restart anytime you want, and as well as upgrade. If you started on, say, a Jakarta instance, and your organization was on Jakarta and has since moved on to Kingston or London or Madrid, you can move that along and upgrade as you will in time with that when you're ready. Maybe you want to explore ahead of where your organization is, or just have the latest and greatest for the sake of having the latest and greatest.
Awesome. So I know there's a lot of good content, but beyond just this content, is there an opportunity for kind of in-person meetup? Do we have ServiceNow developer meetups too?
Yes, we do. We started this a couple of years ago, and I am really impressed with the adoption and the response to all of this. We've got 50 chapters around the globe, anywhere from New Zealand to Sweden to Chicago. I mean, it really is all over the place. But there's still room to grow. If you're not part of one of these communities or there isn't one in your area, certainly look on the developer site, developer.servicenow.com. Find out if there isn't one in your area. Reach out to us. We'll be happy to get one started. They're very easy. We don't run them, we support them. So it really is a safe haven for developers to talk about ServiceNow development. What are you working on? What can we learn? What's in the latest release? We help provide content. We've actually created an application to help the organizers check in people who have registered. It's got a REST API out to meetup.com to know who's coming. You can check them in, get reimbursed on their expense reports, share content. So we've used the Now platform to help build out the Now platform. It's I think Fred Luddy called it a self-eating watermelon, whatever that means.
Awesome. So the final question I have for you, Chuck, this might be a shocker for those that are still listening, is where can you go to find out more? Was it developer.servicenow.com or was it not developer.servicenow.com?
It is, in fact, developer.servicenow.com. Couldn't be easier. Go sign up, get yourself a free account, poke around, get a free personal developer instance, look at those REST APIs, the free learning plans, all the stuff that I talked about. That's your call to action.
Thanks so much, Chuck. So if I heard correctly, you can go to developer.servicenow.com right now, get signed up, get a free instance, and get all these learning assets, as well as learn about some meetup events that might be happening in an area near you. So as always, if you have questions on any part of ServiceNow, whether it's a resource, an application, a site you can go to, let us know. Leave those questions in the comments below, and you'll find links to developer.servicenow.com in the description below. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you on the next ServiceNow Deskside Chat.